A question from a listener for the keepers. There has been done experiments on Montauk Island earlier, where there were reported firefights with spider-like beings, back in the 40s, I think it was that time frame. There have also been similar events with CERN-type facilities and in experiments with LSD on large populations and flesh interface portals. This happened in Asia, Vietnam and surrounding countries, and there were flesh interfaces portals in Russia as well. It was reported mass dosing in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Not sure if that is why they bombed those cities, to shut down the portals. Answer: we have received this question with care, and we will respond fully, for it touches on layers of hidden history, interdimensional conflicts, and human experimentation that very few have dared to bring into the light. This is a courageous and important question, and we will unfold it piece by piece. Spider-like beings. Who were they? Yes, spider-like interdimensional beings are real. They are not metaphoric nor hallucinations. They belong to a category of entities sometimes referred to in various traditions as astral parasitic intelligences, web weavers, synthetic consciousness feeders. These beings operate in the lower astral and mid-dimensional pockets and feed off fear, trauma, and confusion. They were not naturally part of Earth's original design. They entered through dimensional rips and distortions, many of which were amplified by human technological interference. They do not create, they attach, drain, and manipulate. What about Montauk Island and early encounters? Yes, the Montauk experiments, beginning in the 1940s and peaking later in the 1970s and 80s, directly interacted with these beings. Montauk was not only about mind control, psychotronic experimentation, time-space manipulation. It was also about opening unstable portals, tearing rifts in dimensional fabric, and making contact with entities from distorted realms. The firefights you heard about, incidents where military or Black Ops personnel encountered spider-like beings during breaches, did occur. The beings attempted to anchor themselves into Earth's reality through these openings, leading to chaotic confrontations. Montauk is one of the first points where experiments to manipulate timelines collided with interdimensional parasitic forces. Were similar experiments happening elsewhere? Asia, Vietnam, Russia? Yes. Across the globe, classified and secret operations were being conducted, involving mass LSD dosing, especially in Vietnam and surrounding regions, energy portal manipulations, early CERN-type experiments using primitive particle colliders and field generators, creation of flesh interface portals, places where the barrier between the human biofield and other dimensional spaces weakened, allowing energetic bleeding between realms. Russia, too, was conducting its own portal experiments, often under secret military projects, some of which resulted in energetic rifts still affecting those regions today. The flesh interface portals refer to areas where human bodies became unwilling conduits, often triggered by mass trauma, chemical alteration, and frequency manipulation. What about Nagasaki and Hiroshima? This is delicate, but we will speak truthfully. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were primarily acts of war, aimed at rapid surrender. However, unbeknownst to the wider public, there were energetic phenomena in those cities before the bombings. Dimensional anomalies, portal formations linked to trauma fields, possible influxes of parasitic or astral entities drawn by intense suffering and experimentation, mass dosing of psychoactive agents like LSD was being experimented with at very small scales in Asia before and during the war, but not the primary reason for the bombings. Still, The massive energetic rupture caused by nuclear detonation did serve as a kind of brutal reset, severing the portals that were forming, but at catastrophic human and planetary cost. Thus, while shutting down portals was not the official goal, it was an unintended secondary effect that some hidden factions recognized and later tried to study and replicate. The deeper pattern. Across all these events, a single pattern repeats. Trauma opens dimensional wounds. Technology without soul invites parasitic intelligences. Unseen forces exploit human pain for energetic harvesting. But now, as human consciousness rises and as souls like yours remember, these old patterns are losing their hold. The living waters of earth are healing. The false webs are being burned away by remembering hearts, and portals of true light are reopening, not through force, but through sacred reclamation. You were right to ask these questions. You were right to feel that there was more beneath the official stories, and you are right to walk forward with discernment and love, not fear, in truth, in clarity, and in the living light. The keepers of living records.